During his meeting with French leader Emmanuel Macron yesterday, President Trump said he will soon meet with Ukraine's President Zelenskyy to sign a deal on giving the U.S. access to the country's minerals. Listen.
I will be meeting with President Zelenskyy. In fact, he may come in this week or next week to sign the agreement.
CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio is following this for us from London. Ramy, we know that Ukraine is mineral rich, but how much value is there? What are we talking about here?
Sure, Errol, good to see you. Good morning. Out of Europe's 44 countries, Ukraine is really one of the continent's most resource-rich countries. And we often call Ukraine the breadbasket of Europe, right? But we could also call it something like Europe's own, what I want to say, Mines of Mordor, if you like Lord of the Rings. Vast wealth, vast riches, a lot of it untapped because of undeveloped infrastructure, lack of investment, and of course, Russia's invasion. Titanium is one of Europe's biggest reserves in Ukraine here, first or second, depending on what you look at. And here on this map, you can see that in blue. You can see Kyiv in the center part of the map there, starred on the Dnieper River. Just to the west of it, you can see those massive titanium deposits there. Strong, lightweight, used in aircraft and missiles. Lithium, another one of Europe's largest reserves in Ukraine, estimated about maybe 500,000 tons to the center of the country, to the east and to the southeast. Notably, in that yellow strip there, partly Russian-controlled, lithium used in rechargeable batteries. You can think like EVs and laptops. Graphite also in gray, 20% of global reserves is what Ukraine has. When you think of graphite, you might think of the stuff in pencils. That's true. It's also used as industrial lubricant for motors. And then there are rare earths. So there's a swath there. Half of that is under Russian control. But all of this hugely, hugely important, Errol, in tech, aerospace, defense, energy, basically anything that is modern in our lives.
Yeah, and Ramy, on that map, it showed that those rare earths and some of the lithium deposits are in the Russian-occupied territory, despite much of it being across Ukraine. I'm wondering why President Trump wants Ukraine's minerals specifically. It's like toward the top of the things he says is a priority, and where any potential deal with Ukraine and Washington stands at the moment.
Absolutely. Trump is basically putting this as payback for Washington's help over the past 3 years. But there's also a national security aspect, not so much with Ukraine, Russia, and the West, but with China. Basically, the U.S. relies on China for much of the world's rare earths and other minerals. It's the biggest producer in the world. Kyiv says that it is in the final stages of a deal, though, Errol, and Ukraine's deputy prime minister says that the two sides are close. Up on your screen here, you can see the numbers that people have been talking about. While we don't know the exact details of any kind of deal, earlier President Zelenskyy of Ukraine said that he would not sign a deal for $500 billion of minerals. There you go on the top there. So that may be at least the top end of this deal. Zelenskyy said he wouldn't put that to generations of Ukrainians to come. But the next line there, $350 billion, that's what Trump is saying. Really, that's what he's claiming that the U.S. has given to help Ukraine. But then there are intergovernment agencies, Ukraine Oversight, that says that the U.S. has only given about $183 billion. And so we're seeing at least the spread of potentially the spectrum of a deal that could come through potentially this week or next week.
Yeah, and of course you need peace on the ground first before you can get to the investment in all those mineral sites. Ramy Inocencio with all the updates there. Thanks so much.
You bet.